Hi, I'm Corey. Welcome to Creating with Scraps. This video is an April update simply because there's a lot going on in April and I had some ideas and I want to honor the promise that I made to create a journal that's based on Junk Journal January and a little bit of the one I did for Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration and incorporate some of those pages and show you how I created those. But also being mindful of the fact that there is a lot going on in April, a lot, as far as crafting world. I mean, personally, yes, track starts and spring break and all of those things at school, but there's a lot going on in April. Crafty by Tony and Margaret from Seven Plaza are doing an ABC April 2025, and it's this huge, fun A through Z idea conglomeration collaboration thing. They had a live video earlier today that was just a lot of fun to be a part of, and they have invited me to participate, and I'm super excited about it. On my to-do list of albums I've had it probably on the list for 4 or 5 years, is an ABC idea book. If you've watched me before, you know I absolutely love creating idea books, and I've long wanted to create an ABC idea book, and now is the time. Timing wise, it works out well for me. Additionally, Rachel from Rach and Bella Craft is still doing the 100 days of junk journal ideas and inspiration. I am going to do a video, mini notebooker insert on the 6th, and again a video on the 20th regarding same concept again, but with textiles and or fabric. So I'll share those. Kara Brandon from Kara Brandon Creations is releasing the first full week of April a new line of paper digital kit that is inspired by Tim Holtz's latest release. It's different, but it's similar. It was definitely inspired by, and it's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to do a couple projects using Kara's new papers. And then Tracy from Tracy Fox Creative and Natalie from Line.Arrow are doing an envelope project. Really cool digitals that they created as a team, and that is on the 10th. So I've got a lot going on this month, and I really enjoy the challenge of combining challenges or combining ideas. So for example, the idea book that I'm going to show you, that I showed you, that I just finished showing and I have sold and mailed out, I'm going to create some of those pages. But as I was looking through them, I'm like, oh, that would be a great F for frontal flip out. And some of the other pages, oh, that would be a really good one for key card, because it was inspired by a hotel room key card. And so then I thought, well, that will match with the ABC book, and I can put those in the ABC book. And there's no videos scheduled for Sundays, so I thought maybe when possible, I would share something with the ABC book that I'm creating on Sundays, and then in between as well. Go to Margaret's Seven Plaza Coffee or her channel, and she's got all the information for the ABC April, and here's the hashtag ABC April 2025, and then again hashtag 100 days junk journal ideas. That's Rach and Bella's, and then the envelope project 25, that is Tracy's and Natalie's. So lots and lots of going on in ideas galore. I won't try to make a video every day, not even close, but I'm hoping to get maybe one a week in. And I want to incorporate this. So my original thought was, when I had the idea of doing the ABC idea book along to coordinate with the idea book that I just shared, I thought I would use one of these. Now I've had these, I've been trying to finish them up. I started them a couple years ago almost 3 years ago now, 4 years ago, something like that, at the retreat in Montana that I went to with Gail Augustinelli. I've wanted to go back since then, and Gail has graciously included me, but with teaching my school schedule, I've just not been able to swing it, which is kind of a bummer because I'd love to go back. But anyway, I've had these paper, they're basically paper samplers. There are just a variety of different papers, and I've had them, oops, sorry, I turned the light off when I did that. I've had them for quite a while, partially done, and I wanted to finish those up. And so this one I finished up, and again, it's just a paper sampler. And I thought, I'll use this one, but I make really chunky books. And if this is an idea book, there's no way this cute little slimline mini is going to hold all the ideas, even though I absolutely love it. But it's got burlap paper and sketch and lined paper and linen and craft cardstock, piano roll. I'll just go through this really quick. It's got all the papers. Let's see, piano roll, watercolor, and coffee dyed paper, and that's in the first signature. And then obviously the back sides of each of those. And the second signature is this stone paper, which is really cool stuff. Stone paper, which is hard to tear, which is why I put it at an end. Plain old typing paper, vintage wrapping paper, a paper bag, a gift bag basically, a planner page, rice paper, and all-weather paper, which is a little different than stone paper. It doesn't crinkle when it gets wet. It's, again, really cool stuff, but all-weather paper. And then the last signature has vellum and vintage book page and, whoops, I didn't do it in order, sorry, braille paper and handmade paper, and then coffee dyed tracing paper, and then ledger, vintage ledger paper, and then just a multimedia paper, so a little bit thicker. So, and that one I kind of folded over. So I thought I'd use this, but it's going to get way too chunky. So I thought Margaret is coming out with a kit, and I want to use Kara's kit, and I want to use some of Tracy and Natalie's kits, and I want to be able to incorporate all of that. And that's kind of my challenge to myself. And I don't know all the different color schemes. Like, I know what Kara's is, and I know what Tracy's is, and I can make those work together, but I don't know what Tony's and Margaret's are going to be, and I don't know what the next color palette is for Rach and Bella's new kit that comes out, I think, next weekend. So what I did to kind of hedge my bets is, now I've shared this before, this spine technique that I really love, and one of the reasons I love it is its flexibility. I took a piece of canvas and I backed it with some stiffening paper so that it would be nice and stiff. And then rather than using my single spine insert, right, my insert spines, I put 2 sets of these. Now this paper is pretty thick. It's a really thick cardstock, and I probably didn't need anything quite this thick, but I'm thinking that the papers that I print will be a little bit thinner, more like a heavier copy paper than the cardstock that I normally use, simply because it's going to get thick quickly. So rather than using one like I normally do, I stacked 2 together. And then I used my Pilot, what are those things called? Friction pen. Pilot friction pen, drew the lines, and I sewed these all in. So these inserts are ready for me to put my pages in, regardless of what, I mean, like I said, I went neutral. So I can use just about anything except pastels with these, because the canvas is, you know, a linen neutral, not linen, cotton neutral canvas, and then these are just craft cardstock. So just about any color palette I can use with these. I'm kind of hoping that something in there is going to be blue, because I don't have a denim and lace covered album, and so I'm hoping to be able to use that, but we'll see. We'll see what it shows. The colors for Kara and Tracy will both work with the denim, so I'm kind of hoping that what I see with the other kits will as well. Anyway, double stacked these, and the way I'm going to work it is, so the first page will be an introduction, and then I will wrap or place my page here and here like this. I'll just glue them down when they're ready to go, and that will be the letter A. And what I'll do is I'll put, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people, because the ladies opened this up to anybody who was interested in joining. You just use the hashtag ABC April 2025. So lots of ideas, and plus, you know, there's still the 100 days of junk journaling ideas, and then the envelope project. That should be about a week-long inspirational series with Tracy and Natalie. So lots and lots of ideas, so I'm going to make the pages independently and put them in. And so then when I'll glue a page on the front with the introduction on it, the ABC Idea Book introduction. And then these will be the letter A. And then the next set of inserts, these 2 pages will be the letter B, and these 2 will be C. And then these 2, even though there's a gap here, will be D. And then maybe I'll drop something in the D section for a spine, for a filler page or an insert, if it doesn't get too bulky. So that's my plan. So what I've got here, I have more than enough for all the alphabet. So if there's a letter like C, where there's a gazillion things that you can make, or the letter T, like tags and all the things. I have room to create more than one set of pages basically. And then I'll leave it open at the top so I can tuck in a list with all the different, you know, ABC pieces and such. You can use prompts or not, just, you know, pretty much anything goes. So I've got 7 spine signatures, but each set of signatures has 2 pieces in it. So I have the opportunity to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pages for each of these inserts basically. And I've got 7 inserts. So 8 times 7 is 56. So I have enough real estate in here for 56 pages. Plus, because I use 1/4 inch spine, if I don't have super bulky pages, I can put some things. Oh, I forgot to heat. I just get rid of the lines with a heat gun. So I obviously didn't do that one. Anyway, so I have room. If my pages don't get too bulky, I have room to put drop-ins or inserts in. So for example, the letter I will certainly do some kind of a page spine insert, you know, in case you've got an area where its gap is too wide or something. So that's my thought. That's my plan. That is kind of how I'm going to go. I haven't created the cover yet because I have an idea for the cover. But again, I want to see if I can use the denim and the ABC theme that I'm wanting to use. Denim and lace and the ABC for this. Okay. So that is April. That is what's coming up in April and how I hope to incorporate all of the different ideas. And I've taken pictures and printed out all the pages that I created in the Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration videos. So I'll be using those as well. I'll label or name each page so that it will go in the It'll go in the appropriate letter. Okay, so thought. Then I started thinking, well, I haven't done a Create With Me in a while, so I thought I'd do a really quick Create With Me. But oh my gosh, I've got ideas for the Little Bits of Linen journal series that I had planned to do. I've got ideas for the Create With Me, just the random Create With Me. And then as I'm, you know, after school or in the evenings or whatever, I just sit and I make things. Like I've got leftover scraps, and this one is, obviously I'm going to turn it into a journal card. It's just leftover bits. And then this was based on, I don't know, I watched somebody do a video and I had a piece of ledger in front of me and I just did a little ledger pocket piece. And I kind of throw them in here when I'm done with them. And then when they're done, they go up into my completed bin before they get sorted. A lot of steps. I was following somebody else's, and I don't remember who because it was a while ago now. And I was folding and I folded it wrong. And I came up with something completely different because that happens. That happens too. So I thought, gosh, this is pretty common. This is just a coin envelope. So I thought I would pull something out of here and my scrap bin. Oh, this is just a little simple insert. I thought I would make something super quick today. Just pull from my scrap bin and make something. You know what? This is a really fun one. I love doing this, but this is a sewing machine one. So there is an acetate, a clear pocket on the front. Let's see if I've got a piece that I can show you. I honestly there's so much, I don't even know what to show you. And yes, I could have probably picked a project, but I thought I would just choose something randomly. All right, so this one, it's a wraparound. You wrap it around, let's see. Okay, here, this is part of an envelope that was in my bin. So you wrap this around the outside of a page. See, for the leftover bits video. Oh, I was going to share, maybe I will share this then. Rach and Bella, at the very end of her collaboration, I had asked if we could do a leftover bits because I love playing with the leftover pieces, and I thought this would be a fun one there. So there's an acetate or clear or tracing paper pocket in the front, and then there is a pocket here, and it wraps around the page. And then the other side glues down, and then there's I guess I didn't put a pocket there. Oh, I see. There's a pocket here in the front also. And then there's a pocket here. And then there's a pocket back here. And it's just with leftover bits. So I thought I will do what I said and save that for that video. But let's see. I don't remember whose video this was. It's just a page insert with a pocket and a pocket. And then a pocket and a pocket and a pocket. Don't remember who. I should have written down who inspired me on that one. And it looks like this is a version of the same thing. Where it's you know what, maybe we'll just make this because it's right in front of me and it looks like it's pretty easy to do. There's a fold over here and a fold over here. Okay, there's my answer. Because we don't have to decorate this one. This one's just a base that we can add on to. And say this, my bin's overflowing, so I need to start sorting things and putting them away and make more videos. I've got my scrap bin next to me, so this is obviously a big piece. And I apologize if I saw this on your channel and I just don't remember. I think it doesn't look like what it's supposed to look like is what I think. I think I saw somebody do it and I wasn't listening or paying attention, or I didn't have time to make it at the time, and so I changed it. All right, it looks like I take a piece of paper and fold it into thirds. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. Let me find, okay, here, this is a digital. Really like this. I believe this is a Tracy Fox Creative digital. Love this color. And you know what? Great timing, because if I can use blue, this would go beautifully with the neutral color and the denim. So I will make this for that. Okay, so we're going to call this a one-sheet wonder, a quick one-sheet wonder. And again, I apologize to whoever inspired me. And then I went off on a tangent because that's kind of how I roll. Okay, so first things first, it looks like I want it to be this way, and I fold it in about thirds. Okay, so maybe I zoom out a little bit, maybe something like that. So I want to fold it in about thirds. I don't think it matters if it's perfect or not, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does matter. Okay, so I'm going to do it kind of like that. And you could measure if you wanted to. I'm sure you could, but I'm just going to grab this piece that I've got and work with this. Okay, folded that. And now I'm going to use this as my guideline. Oh, well, so maybe I'm going to have to do it this way. And I'll fold this in. And then I do this sometimes too if I don't want to measure and don't fold it perfectly. So you can see if I were to fold this down now, it's not quite, oh, maybe I need to zoom in a little bit. Sorry. It's not quite matching. So what I'll do then, because I've already got this crease in place, I'll open my paper up and I don't go right into the groove, but I'll go just shy of that groove. Make sure that it's straight and I'll fold it down. Then I flip it over like this. Oh, I guess that was pretty darn close. Wow, I got lucky. I was going to say, and then if there's a little bit left over on this side hanging off on the outside, then I can just trim that off. So it didn't matter if it was absolutely perfect, but this looks like it was pretty darn close. So I got lucky. Okay, so this is just one piece. Now I'm kind of looking to see what I did because I honestly don't remember. So, okay, so then it looks like I open it up. And I'll just kind of fold as we go. All right, open it up, and then I fold down these corners. That part, fold down these two corners. That part I'm pretty confident of. And then again, the same idea. I don't fold exactly in the crease. I fold just next to the crease so that it doesn't impede the way it folds and lays. And almost always, I glue this piece down, or I cut it off. I mean, if I'm working with thicker paper, I cut it off. But for the sake of this, we'll just glue that down. All right, so that one is glued down. And let's go over here and lay it in, make sure it's mostly straight. We've got geometry coming up soon and revisiting all the triangles, the different types of triangles and their measurements and such. And fifth graders just love that. Not so much, but we'll get through it. We will, and they will learn it. Okay, so there we go. So there's, and honestly, me being me, I would probably sew this and ink this, but for the sake of speed, I'm not going to sew or ink it right now. Okay, so here's that, and there's that. Okay, so it looks like I've got a cut right here. So it looks like at the bottom. Okay, so I have to cut it twice is what it looks like, and it's based on this crease. So this, the right-hand side on mine, I guess you could do it, you could switch it either way, but on the right-hand side of mine, so the right-hand flap, I am going to, okay, it looks like I open it up and then I fold it up. That's what it looks like I did. Folded it up like this. So maybe just about to meet, I guess it doesn't really matter, but just about to meet that line there. Sure, we'll call it that. All right, so where I've got my flaps folded, I'm going to take the bottom of the paper and fold it up to just about meet that. And then I'll crease that. I'm not even using my bone folder on this. This is a thinner copy paper. So, I mean, it's thicker copy paper, but thinner than cardstock. So, and then it looks like on the right panel, the bottom right corner, it looks like I cut a straight line from the edge to the right flap point. So right in here, if I'm looking down at this, I'm going to cut to right there. And I'm going to mark it with a pencil because of all the lights in here. I'm not sure I'll be able to see exactly where I'm supposed to stop. So you can use this is a great thing for your Fiskars trimmer or scissors or a straight edge. Here, for the sake of ease, I'll just use a craft knife and a straight edge. And again, I'm not cutting from the bottom, I'm cutting from the right side to that first right corner point. And looks like, oh, it's hard to see. Sometimes what I will do is mark it with a pencil, but I don't know if this is going to show or not. I'll mark it with a pencil so that I can see where I'm cutting, and I'm going to have to because I can't really see that very well. Just to make sure I know where I'm cutting. I didn't do it perfectly, but you get the idea, and at least I can see it. I've been reading too much today. I was doing lesson planning, and my eyeballs are pretty much shut. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a straight line from that point in the corner straight down. And then, personal preference, I almost always cut a little sliver right off the place next to it. So I cut just to the inside edge of the crease. And now, maybe I'm going to cut a little itty bitty tiny sliver of that off so that it folds easier. They don't catch each other when it folds. And again, I'm kind of guessing here because I can't really see it very well. So if I didn't do a good job, I apologize. And then I'll grab some scissors and trim that down. Snap that corner. Okay, so right hand flap was cut from the right side to, oh, that was a really kind of a wide one. That's okay. To the center. And then now it looks like the left flap I cut from the bottom to that same center dot. So I shouldn't really say center, the corner point where the four corners meet. And I'll make a mark there. And that connector, it's like four corners in the United States, for those of you who are from the U.S., where the four states kind of meet up and touch. So straight down line, I think that's in this crease, yep. And then I'll do the same thing, except instead of cutting from the right side of the page, I'm cutting from the left bottom of the page to that stopping point. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing and move it over just a smidge and take off a tiny little sliver so that it doesn't catch on itself when it folds. And then I'll snip that point. You can tear it, but I think sometimes the tear leaves a mark and this doesn't. So, okay. I think that's all the cutting. Well, no, it looks like maybe there's more. Okay, so let's see. I don't know which way was which, so I folded it. Oh, okay, I can do this. And then it looks like, because this is really old, really thin paper, and this one you can see there it doesn't match up, so no problem. I'm just going to tuck that on the inside, and then tuck this on the outside. I'll fold on the left side. I have folded the right side in first, then the left side, and I guess that doesn't really matter which side you fold in first. And then where I've cut from the bottom to the center, I'm going to take that piece and fold it up to make a pocket on the what's going to be the front. All right, so I fold this side in, the left side in first. Try that again, Corey. Folded the right side in first, then I know this is going to catch even though it's there. So we'll just trim that off because we don't really need it. It's not going to show. So we'll just trim those little itty bitties off. Okay, I said right side, then left side. And then this bottom piece we fold straight up, but I folded it in. So do I want to fold it in? Do I want to fold it down? I like the edge that gives, so I'm just going to, let's see, move it up a bit, and I'm going to fold it over and I'm actually kind of glad that those are disappearing because, I don't know, they just make me think indecent things. So I'm going to fold that in and fold it down just like that. Okay, and so this will be the front of the card. Then I'm going to flip it over. So now I'm working on the back and I'm making a tuck there, or it looks like maybe I'm making a couple tucks. So this is what the back looks like. It looks like I flipped this up and creased it so that the front bottom and the back bottom are parallel, are even. And then I'm folding this over, and it looks like this flap that I folded down, or this, so we lifted it up and laid for a back pocket, and then we've got this hinged flat piece. So what I'm going to do is take the corner of that and fold it in to make a triangle. So I'm taking the left corner and folding it in to make a triangle. And again, I'm going to glue this down simply because it'll be easier to glue it down. It'll stay in place nicely. And again, since it's not going to show, I'll trim off that corner. All right, so then it's a pocket like this. But I took it once, so I've got the pocket and then a pocket in the back. So 2 pockets on this side. But I think what I did was I took the back corner and I folded that down so that it was kind of parallel to the front, if that makes sense. So that the crease line was about the same, so that you could see something like that. Just kind of tuck it until you get it into the right spot, I think. I didn't measure it or anything. I just kind of tucked it down. So a double tuck, basically. And here's what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did do that like that. I like that. So the back piece, I folded it down at about a 90-degree angle. Let's glue that down. Back flap that I lifted up, I glued the inside right back corner down at a 90-degree angle. And then this hinged flap, I glued that down at a 90-degree angle so that I have a pocket that looks like this. And when we glue it all together. So I can sew or glue here. So I've got a pocket and then a pocket on the back. And then I flip it over and I've got a pocket, and a pocket on the front. So there are, let's see, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets on here. So that's kind of a fun thing. And again, I don't remember who I saw. It's been a little while and I don't remember who I saw make that. I just remember that I did something a little bit different than that person did. And I hope this gave you an idea. And then you can decorate as much or as little as you want. In fact, what you could do and what I might do, rather than gluing this down to make it a pocket, maybe I would do this. And in fact, I might. Use one of the scrap pieces. Use a little scrap piece here. Here's a piece of leftover canvas. Okay, so I would glue a little piece of canvas, or I'd sew a little piece of canvas right here. And then you've got a flap that you can move down. And instead of having a pocket here, I would put a journaling pad. I would have a fold down journaling pad. So instead of making this a pocket, which you of course could do, you could even still make it a pocket, tuck something in your pocket and then lift this up with a bit of Velcro, and then you have a fold down journaling space. So there's a variation. I'm not going to glue or sew this down simply because you can see how it would be glued or sewed. You would glue right along here where they match. You would glue the inside right bottom below the 90-degree triangle. Yeah. You would glue the inside right bottom, and then you would glue the along the bottom of the pocket and that side down. Then you'd flip this closed and glue again the bottom and the side on the left hand, and then lift this up. If you were going to sew this, obviously glue it before you sew it. Try that again, Corey. You would sew this before you would glue this down, so that this part, which isn't going to show at all, would have your stitches on it and you wouldn't stitch the whole thing together. So if you were stitching this piece of paper or fabric onto your left-sided flap, do that before you glue your front pocket down. Then put your journaling pad, little notepad, what have you here, and then lift up that flap. And you don't have to glue anything because it's a drop down, but because this is going to have a Velcro closure on it, right? You can still tuck something into this, like a mini tag. You could move it off to the side. It doesn't have to be in the center. Or you could move it off to this side and you'd have a little bit bigger of a pocket, and then it would lift up and you'd have a journaling tag. Then you flip it over in the back and you would glue the bottom right and left. Try that again. Bottom right and left sides just to the points. Lift that up. And then you would glue just along the very bottom of that flap hinge you created and glue that down or sew that down. And that is how you make this fun little flip. Yeah, I think I will. I think I'll turn that into a little notepad. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I've got, I will name the pieces and get back to you as soon as I can, hopefully sometime next week, with the ABC idea book that is going to be in conjunction with Junk Journal Ideas and Inspiration. And I'm just kind of mixing up all the things, but it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good time. Take care all. Happy creating.